Welcome back, folks, and thank you so much for joining us for another soul-driven interview. I am very excited today to introduce you to Paola Ripoll, an intuitive holistic healer certified by Dr. Bradley Nelson in emotion and body code. Also, she is a breakthrough law of attraction specialist and founder of Paola Healing. She combines multiple modalities and intuition to her healing techniques, such as body code, Reiki, energy medicine, emotional freedom technique, chakra balancing, belief systems, etc. She works with people in more than 22 countries who've tried everything and lost hope in their healing to take back their power and step into freedom and fulfillment, creating a happier, healthier, and wealthier life. Welcome to the show, Paola. So good to have you.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Anna.
Going through your bios, and I know that was just like a small portion of it, but you have done so much. I'm very excited to kind of dive into the why of all these things. So a little bit of background on how I came to know Paola. I found her on Facebook in an emotion code Facebook group. It was a modality that I was really looking into studying, and she was looking for some students. We connected, and I started working with her, and it was incredible. We did, I think, 3 sessions together. And then we have recently been working together also on what I call my funny money issues. Which are, of course, all of the hangups and the conditioning that, I've pulled on from this lifetime, past lifetimes, who knows. But it has been such a pleasure to work with Paola, and I was so excited to bring her onto the podcast and introduce her to you all. So let's dive right in. The first question I ask all of my guests: what makes you soul driven?
Well, what makes me soul driven? Living from my soul, not from the ego. And sometimes that is something that is not easy. When the ego, when the mind is on the way, you cannot live from the heart. You cannot live from the soul. So always I ask for help, because living from the soul level is completely different than living from the ego. So um, I do a lot of work to do that. When I work, for example, when I do my work, and every day in my life, always I ask, I want to live from the soul. And it's very different living from the soul. What I found out with myself, for example, is I know when it's the mind, I know when it's the ego. I call it like a little monster talking. When it's talking and talking and talking, I listened, and then I let it go. When it's something that I do and I don't think anything about it, I know it's the heart. I know it's my soul. I know it's my inner guidance.
I like that breakdown between the heart and the ego. Yeah. So how did you come to learn to be able to differentiate between the ego and the heart? Did that take a lot of time?
That takes time, and I will tell you something, and I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that. For example, when I work with any of the modalities that I use, if the mind is talking and if the mind is saying, search here or search that, I know it's my mind. I know it's not the soul. I know it's not the heart. I know it's not the intuition. To give, for example, a very easy example, always the mind is in the way. Always the mind is in the way. So, for example, let's say that I'm working on myself, and because I'm having pain in the pancreas area. So the mind will say, go to the pancreas, search the imbalances there. But then if I don't use the mind and I allow the energy of my heart, if I ask my soul for guidance, if I allow my intuition, perhaps I need to work with my left hand, and then the pancreas will be happy. That's the difference.
So it's just a matter of kind of stepping in for you in
Yeah.
regards to, yeah. I think it, like, certainly for myself, and I do think it is a lifelong lesson, learning how to really differentiate between the two. But I kind of always, well, I try to go back to, you know, when I feel like open and expanded versus when I feel closed, you know, shut down. But of course, I move so quick, and I think the majority of us move so quick that we don't, like, tapping into whether or not I, like, you know, stopping myself in the midst of all of the things I have to do today and being like, do I feel open? Do I feel closed? Like, just doesn't happen very often. So one of the things, I love starting with backgrounds here, but one of the things I noticed about you immediately, of course, when we met, was your accent. So I'd love to know where you're from and where you grew up.
Well, I'm a mix of Mexican and Spanish, so that's the reason that I have that I have this accent. I grew up in Mexico City.
Okay. And so, like, that's where you went to college, or I don't remember what it is that they call it.
Well, actually, it's interesting because some of my studies, I did it in Mexico City, some others in Spain, and some others in the United States, in Chicago.
Okay. So you belong to the world then. A little bit of all over the place, but that's awesome.
Yes.
So what did you go to school for?
Well, actually, I study accountant. That's what I have studied. So my background is more like economics, more administration, more accountant, more financials. That's more my background, the background that I have.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me because I feel like lately I've really come to know a lot of spiritual workers or healers who have these very sort of analytical, data-driven sort of backgrounds. So before we kind of dive into the work that you're doing today, like, were you always someone who was interested in the spiritual work or in the spiritual side of life?
Always. I have started being interested in the spiritual world when I was 16, 17 years old. I think that from 16, perhaps until 20, I was very in the spiritual world. But then, because things in life that I was busy with, with the university, and I'm busy with other things, I stopped that. I have completely stopped that. And I think I was in the spiritual world again, like 11 years ago or 12 years ago. I have started again. So I start very young, and then I make a pause, and then I have a start again.
Yeah. So what was it that, like, brought you back to the spiritual work like 10 or 11 years ago?
Oh, I will tell you, I was having really problems with my loving relationships. It was not the problem finding a partner. The problem is that I was very afraid of commitment, and at the same time, part of me was saying I want to have a committed relationship. But then the type of people that always I was attracting, they didn't want to have a commitment. And then I was saying, but why? So one friend of mine, I remember, she suggested me, oh, Paola, I have found some interesting information about Ho'oponopono. And I have started reading and studying about Ho'oponopono, and I have started again with that. It was so easy. It was like only like removing memories, cleaning memories, doing the mantra. And then one day, I broke with the boyfriend that I was having, and I was saying, no, this is not normal. Something is wrong. I need to see what's wrong to fix that. So of course, I was searching for more like for this type of modalities. And I was in Amazon, and I found that I was not searching for this book, but I found a book by accident. But it was not an accident. So I bought the book. I have started reading the book.
And are you talking about the emotion code book?
No. I'm talking before the motion code.
Okay.
The motion code. So I found the book. I bought the name of the book is Single No More.
Okay.
So I bought the book, and then Nick Brew, that is the author of the book, he offered like a free 15-minute session, something like that. So I was saying to myself, I want to talk to him. So I talked to him, and he was offering me like a coach, 3 months coach. And he was talking about the emotional freedom technique. He was talking also about the law of attraction. I was not like a practitioner of law of attraction. And I was so curious. I haven't bought the coaching with him, but I was very curious because always I'm a very curious person. So I have started seeking about what was the emotional freedom technique. I took classes on that. I got certified, and I have started working all myself in the emotional freedom technique. And then I found some authors about the law of attraction, self-masters, that I have started following. Everything they were saying has matched perfectly with me. And that's the way that I have started again, only with emotion freedom technique and practicing a lot law of attraction, of course. I have changed so many things of my life. And then by accident again, and I say by accident, but I know now that is not by accident, because always I ask, what's next? What is the next step? And I say, God, show me. Like that. I was in, my dog was sick. I was going a lot with the doctor, with the vet. He was really sick. He was having like chronic inflammation. And I was in the highway, I was not driving, and I was searching for a book, for a holistic book, for an energy healing book. And I found the emotion code. I bought the book in Kindle, and I have started reading the book. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. I have ordered the book. And then I have started practicing with myself, with my dog, with my family. And it was mind blowing that I decided getting certified in the motion code. That's the reason I found the motion code.
Okay. So let's take a couple of steps back, because I want to fully dive into the emotion code. But first, you mentioned the Ho'oponopono and emotional, yes, EFT. And I just wanted to clarify for folks who don't know that it's actually tapping is another name for it, or whatever. I interviewed Lindley Welty on the podcast. Oh gosh, I think last month, 2 months ago. She's an EFT practitioner, but the Ho'oponopono, I think, would be amazing. I feel like not a lot of people have heard about that, and it's such a powerful practice. Would you mind sharing with us like what it is?
Of course. And this is very interesting because as an energy healer, it's exactly the same. In Ho'oponopono, we talk about memories. We talk that the chair that I am sitting has memories. This computer has memories. The water has memories. We have memories. So with Ho'oponopono, everything is having memories, and the memories are having energy. So with Ho'oponopono, it's a very easy mantra that you can repeat to erase memories. And the type of memories, obviously, that you erase are negative memories. The mantra is, I love you, please forgive me. Sorry, it's, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I forget the other one, I will remember. You can repeat only, I love you, thank you. Or I'm sorry is, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. At the moment that we repeat the mantra, we are cleaning memories. We ask God to clean the memories. We don't know what we are cleaning. We don't have idea. Perhaps we are cleaning memories of anger or I don't know, betrayal or money issues. We don't know what we are cleaning. But in Ho'oponopono, Dr. Ihalakala, he says, God is removing and cleaning the memories. So you can only repeat the mantra, or you can only repeat, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you, or thank you, thank you, thank you, and you are cleaning memories. Because Dr. Ihalakala, he says, in the chair that you are sitting, that chair is having memories. Perhaps the chair is having the memories of someone that has sit there, and that person was having money issues, or that person was having cancer, or that person was happy, or was sad, or was angry. And with Ho'oponopono, we are responsible for everything that happened around us, for everything that is our physical reality. We are not guilty, we are responsible. Let's say that I have a fight with my brother. Let's say that. So I will never say it's the fault of my brother. I take responsibility, only responsibility. It's something in me that is contributing with that. What it is, I don't know. I don't need to know. I only repeat the mantra and I ask to remove and to clean those memories. Only like that. For example, something could be difficult or easy to understand. When I have started doing Ho'oponopono, I remember again that I was in a relationship and I broke the relationship with this guy. And then I was saying, I mean, it's not that he has been lying at me. It's something in me because it's a pattern that I was repeating in people that I was attracting. So I took responsibility, only saying, I want to erase those memories. I don't have idea which are the memories I want to erase, but I'm responsible to clean the memories because I want to stop attracting the same type of person into my life. You know? So that's more Ho'oponopono. And when we talk about energy, we use other words, but it's the same. Because, for example, as energy healers, when we talk about energy, we say the chair can have negative energy. The negative energy of someone that was sick and was sitting in the chair. So we talk about energy. In Ho'oponopono, we talk about the memories, but it's the same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're explaining that, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's always energy. Energy is always
Everything.
around us and everything has energy. um, so fast forwarding a little bit, again, you found the emotion code and you found the book and you started working with it. What was it that was so unique about emotion code that you just really latched onto?
Well, for me was amazing. The book explains you how you can ask your subconscious mind everything that is related with your well-being. And the book explains a very easy exercise to dig in the subconscious mind that is the SWI test. So I remember that when I have closed my eyes and I did the SWI test, only asking, it's my name, Paola, and my body moved forward. And then I asked, it's my name, John, and my body moved backward. I was like, oh, wow. It's amazing how my subconscious mind, how the energy of something that is true moves my body forward or backwards. That for me was amazing because was the first time for me doing, I mean, some people call muscle testing, energy test, applied kinesiology, that is the same. So that for me was, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it is really incredible. Do you know about the science behind that at all? In
No, I
regards
don't
to the
really,
muscle testing?
I don't really know about the science behind that.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's just FYI for folks who are listening, there's a number of different ways to muscle test. And Dr. Nelson like goes through those not only in his book, but in his website. And there's a number of different things that you can dive into. So did you start like working with clients immediately or?
No, I will tell you. At the moment that I was reading the book, I have started practicing only the swipe test because Dr. Brad in the book, he suggests practice the technique that you feel that you trust, because there are different techniques that he also explains in the book, at least 100 times a day, asking yes or no questions, things that you know that they are true for you and that you know they are false for you. So I have to start playing with that, like asking myself, is this color black? Is red? Did I ate for breakfast this or this? So I have to start practicing only the swipe test. Why? Because the swipe test is very easy, and at the same time, I was trusting that technique. And I have started seeing videos. I mean, I went to YouTube and I have started searching videos of people doing different muscle testing techniques with their hands. Doctor explains in the book, but at the moment that you can see the videos and the recommendation of people, I feel, well, for me it was more easy. So I was seeing people, I was watching people, and I was saying to myself, oh, I want to learn that technique and I want to learn this other technique. So learning muscle testing was awesome. At the moment I trust my technique, that was only the swipe test, I decide I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to work with my family and friends, and of course, my dog, definitely, to see how it works. So I remember I worked with a family member. He was feeling sad, and I had to start working with him because he was feeling sad in the direction of getting depressed. And then it was gone. It was gone. And I was like, oh, wow. And then when I have to start working with pain, with my friends, with my close friends, and with my family members, that's mind blowing. Why? Because when you start with emotion code and you start practicing with your friends or with your family, and you work with pain, it's amazing, because the pain, it will go like this, or it's possible to lessen the pain. So working with pain is good because then you trust more yourself. You know that what you are doing is working because you can track. And tracking pain, it's very easy. So I have never charged when I read the book and when I was working with the book. Actually, we're not allowed to do that. We can do it for free. We can ask energy in exchange, like a donation, perhaps. But then I decide getting certified in the motion code. And at the moment I decided getting certified, people around me, they were saying, but why? I mean, that is not your work. I mean, the type of work that you are doing is completely different, Paola. And I was saying, I don't know why I want to get certified, but I will. Perhaps one day this is going to be my job, my full job, or part of my job, or I will do it because a hobby. So then I got certified in the motion code. And of course, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to stop you before we go too much further, because I really should have started with, let's explain the emotion code for people so that they understand what it is that we're talking about. So could you explain what the emotion code is for us?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course, of course. Well, in the motion code, we can use the motion code to work with people, and also we can use to work with animals. And what we do, we work with energy. We can work with the person in the same room that we are, or we can work with the person or with the pet that is in another country, in other part of the world. Why? Because when we work with emotion code, well, number one, we will search for something that we call trap emotions. And trap emotions is trap energy, that is negative energy that we trap at different age in our life. A trap emotion, to give a very easy example, let's say that someone is having neck pain, okay? So this means when we do emotion code, that that person is having trapped energy in the neck, that is having trapped emotions in the neck area. Dr. Brad explains that the trapped emotion has a size of an orange. If you can see energy, you will see the energy that is trapped there. If you don't see it, you can feel it. With your hand, you can feel the energy. And you can muscle test for the energy as well if you don't feel it. So for someone that is having neck pain, they have trapped energy in the neck. And that trapped energy that is in the neck, perhaps the person is 30 years old, but that person has trapped energy when she or he, they were like 5 or 10 or 11 years old. How you will search for this trapped energy? Well, in emotion code, it's an emotion code chart. The emotion code chart has 60 main emotions like anxiety, fear, terror, despair, betrayal, crying, sadness, etc. This chart, that is the emotion code chart, is divided in 2 columns, column A and column B, and in 6 rows. So let's go back to the example. If I'm working with someone that is having neck pain, number 1, it's important to ask for permission. So always with the people I work, they give me permission. As a mother or father, you can give permission to work with your kids if they are under 18 years old. Or if you are having like a family member in the hospital, you can give permission if that person can't. Why asking for permission? Because at the moment we work with this energy healing modality, is kind of if you go to a dentist, you allow the dentist or the doctor to check you up. With this modality, it's the same. So we learn to ask for permission. So at the moment the person is giving me permission, we ask help from above, and with intention and help from above through a small prayer. Is not a specific prayer. You can pray whatever you want to whoever you believe, asking for help to help you to do the session with the person you will work. And then with energy, you connect with the person and you connect with the subconscious mind of the person. How I am going to ask to the subconscious mind of the person, what is the kind of trap emotions that the person is having in the neck? That is the reason that I will do muscle testing. Right now I use my hands. So I will ask to the subconscious mind of the person, for example, do you have trap emotions that are creating neck pain? Yes or no? And then I will use the emotion code chart to see how many trap emotions the person is having, and we remove the trap emotion. We can use the governor meridian that starts above the lip and goes in a straight line down to the tailbone. So we can use part of the governor meridian. We can use our hands because we have energy, or we can use a magnet and we can use the magnet, or only with intention, we can remove the energy. And we track, in this case that is neck pain, we track at the end of the session, how is the pain? Perhaps the pain is gone. Perhaps we lessen the pain. So this is like a very simple way to explain how the emotion code works.
Thank you. Thank you. The one thing I know about you is that you are very thorough, Paola. But I think that's great because, I mean, when it comes to something, thinking about, like, I know for myself, when I first came across emotion code, I was like, what? How does this work? I don't, like, this seems like too good to be true. It seems like too easy. In our world, and so much of our conditioning is like we have to work really hard to heal, and so it seems almost impossible that I know, like in my sessions with you, that things are being released, and yet at the same time, the first time that I worked with you, I could feel like the energy moving in my body, and when you were pulling up different emotions, and then telling me that it was happening at this age and this was going on, and whatever the case may be, it was like I knew exactly what it was that you were talking about. So when you release these emotions, are they gone forever?
Forever, forever, forever. But for example, let's say that we found an emotion of terror. That will, when you were, let's say, 10 years old, we remove that trap emotion of terror. When you were 10, that specific emotion will never come back. But of course, you might trap terror in other ages of your life. Perhaps when you were 20 or 30 or 25. Yes, we have different layers. We have layers.
So does it get rid of, like, let's say if you get rid of the emotion terror at the age of 10, does it get rid of terror for the entire year of 10? Or how do you know
For the
which?
for the specific thing we're working with, of course, we can ask how many layers, and then we can ask the subconscious mind, because it's always a that now I say I don't ask the subconscious mind, I ask the higher self of the person I'm working. But we can ask how many layers you have. Is safe to remove? Because it's very important always to ask if it's safe, because sometimes a higher self says it's not safe, and that could be because we have removed a lot, or because it's another emotion that we need to remove before that one to make it safe.
Yeah. Okay. So releasing emotions, and then the body code is kind of like a step up from the emotion code. Because I know with the body, like, we can release, like, what are the top main things? There's like energy, and I should know these by now.
Well, the body code is is amazing. Of course, the first step is emotion code, and the main imbalances in the body, of course, are related to trap emotions. But then the step two is body code, because with body code we work with 6 imbalances that the body can have. And for example, something that is important to share for people that will watch and will hear is that the body heals in layers. We are like an onion, and with emotion and body code, we are peeling the onion to get to the root cause of the problem, of the imbalance. And in body code, we search for 6 main imbalances. One is in the area of energy. Trap emotions, for example, are inside the area of energy, like mental energy, like beliefs, despair anchors, etc. Then other imbalance is circuit and systems. In this area is all the organs, the glands or energy body, like chakras, like meridians, like the aura, etc. And of course, the systems, the circulatory system, respiratory system, reproductive system. Then we have the other area is toxicity. Toxins, food toxin, medicine, carpet toxicity, everything that is related with toxins. Then we have pathogens, and we have like viruses, bacteria, prion, fungus, etc. The other area that we have is are misalignments. Why? Why misalignments? Because we can have any type of misalignment. A misalignment in the spine, a misalignment in a vertebra, a misalignment in an organ, for example, or even in a gland, or even in a meridian. And misalignments are very important because the brain sends information to our organs or systems and glands to work. So if we have a misalignment, the communication of the brain to reach the organ is not reaching the organ at 100%. So misalignments are very important. Also, when we work with pain, with lower back pain, normally it's a misalignment there. And then the other area, it's called nutrition and lifestyle. Could be that the body will say, I'm dehydrated, or I have a problem of water absorption, or I need an essential oil. And then we search the oil, or I need like a vitamin, or it's something, it's a protein that I need to eat. And we can install the energy. Sometimes we install the energy of the essential oil and the person needs the physical oil. Some other times they don't need it. So those are the 6 main areas when we work with body code.
It's so interesting to me because it feels like, I'm sure you've seen the movie Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like where they install the different, you know, like different fighting programs, right? And I know, like in my work with you, that literally you've removed like reverberations, I think, you know, that are just like continually playing through my like entire body, just pulsating through. And so you'll remove that, and then, you know, you'll be called to like install something. And I'm just like, I feel I've really started thinking a lot start over. I've really been thinking a lot lately about how much we are computers. Like we are like computers, you know, in that we can be programmed. We are, you know what I mean? And so in the midst of talking about these things, like, you know, releasing something and installing something different, it's just so fascinating to me. Have you seen that as well? Like, do you ever get curious about that? Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's completely fascinating because we can have programming at any age. Normally, most of the programming that we have is from the moment that we born until 7 years old. But as an adult, we can have programming. For example, very often I see, specifically with women, this programming. You cannot have it all, or you have money, or you have love. And that's beliefs, that's programming. It's a reason why that program is in the mind. And it's absolutely beautiful using a body code or emotion code to remove the belief, to ask the subconscious mind if it's possible to remove the belief, and then to install another belief.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really incredible.
Yeah.
I've experienced it. So like, I know it's legit. um, and even something down to, well, I guess, before I jump in there, so what are some of the reasons that people come to you? Like, what are some of the things that they bring to you?
Well, I have a lot of people that I work with helping with success in the businesses that they have. It's people that is already successful, but they want to be more successful, or people that is having lack of success and they want to be successful. With money issues, I work so much with money issues. And with money issues, that never means that is someone that is not having money at all. Perhaps it's people that they want to have more money, but also at the same time, some people they have the money ceiling, and working with money issues, we can go up the money ceiling that they have. And then when I work with money, I work a lot also. Of course, we do body code work because it's important to work with the belief system, with the type of emotions, with the type of imbalances. But also at the same time, always I give tips how they can work with the law of attraction, because then they do some conscious work that is important. I do the subconscious, but in that topic, working with the conscious mind, yeah, is quite important also. At the same time, I help people, for example, mothers that they are having any kind of problems with the kids because they are fighting, or one is very angry, or they are jealous. Specifically now, due to the pandemic, I have been working a lot with kids. And I work with people, for example, that is having pain in the body or any other type of imbalance. This is important to say. I am not a doctor. I am an energy doctor. I am an energy healer. So as an energy healer that I can't prescribe to any person because I am not a doctor. If someone is taking medicine, that's good, that's okay. If someone is in a treatment with the doctor, they must continue the treatment. And they come with me because they have years, or perhaps they have 1 year, or they have 6 months, and they are desperate because they are not seeing improvement. or they are having chronic pain. So I help them at an energetic level. So I work almost with anything and with everything. With people that is having pain, with people that is having money blocks or love blocks or any type of health condition. We don't work with the disease at all. We work with the symptoms. For example, someone with diabetes, I will never ask the subconscious mind or the higher self, what's the deep underlying reason for the diabetes? Because the subconscious mind will don't understand. But at the moment I work with the symptoms, I will ask, what's the reason of the high blood sugar levels, for example?
Yeah. Well, I know that, I mean, I think it's important to just, because I've worked with you, to also say that it's like while you're working at an energetic level, like there's real physical things taking place. I mean, I think one of the last things that I worked with you on when we initially worked together was like my toe. And my left toe, my big left toe, such a random thing, but I mean, at the beginning of 2020, like it started hurting and like the nail bed got really weird and it looked like it was growing out for a little while, but like, and then it came back and my doctor was not interested in diagnosing it at all. It was just like, oh, it's fine. It's growing out. It's not a big deal. All your other toes are good. So you must be fine. And it was starting to get to a place where it was really, not hurting me so like terribly, but it was just like something's going on here. And I worked with Paola, and I don't even remember all the things that you released, through body code. I mean, it was like there were like misalignments in my lower back. There was certainly emotions. There was energy. It was a session and a half, but I got my toe back.
Yeah.
Like the pain went away and it healed it. So I just wanted to throw that in because oftentimes, even myself, when I hear energetic healing, I have this, again, it's this idea that like we have to work really hard to be healed, and so it's like, well, if it's just energetic, then it's not really helping me. It's not really translating. But that's just because like we have a misunderstanding of energy and how powerful it is and how much it affects us on the physical level as well. So one of the things that you kind of started to tap into that I want to speak about is all of these other modalities that you've learned along the way. So why, I guess I'd be curious to know like why you started learning all these modalities and how it is that they support you in your work.
Of course, I will explain you. Well, the body, it's very important what you have mentioned, Anna, because the body has the ability to heal itself. So definitely, yes, at the moment that we do this energy work, the body change. The physical body, the energy body, the mental body, the emotional body, the spirit body, etc. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. And sometimes I have people that they say, I don't really believe what you do. I don't really believe in energy, in energy medicine, in the energy modality that you use. Then I say, I will work with you with pain or with discomfort. And when you work with pain, it's mind blowing. Why? Because people that they don't believe is like, what you did, it's energy. It's like that. It's energy. So I'm going to tell you, as I was telling you, always I ask for guidance and I ask, what's next? So many things, they show up, but it's my soul that knows what's next. It's not the mind, it's not the ego, it's the soul that says what's next. For example, I have started with emotional freedom technique. I don't use emotional freedom technique a lot nowadays because I have seen in my practice that, of course, emotional freedom techniques and works very good. But for me, working with emotion and body code is like this, is faster. I will use emotional freedom technique, for example, when I help people with weight loss issues. and they don't know how to muscle test, then I help them. We do together like a round. And if they are having anxiety, food anxiety, they can use. It's only for that I will use. Then I found energy medicine, and I have one of the books, the book that I start. I have it here. I have started studying this woman that is Donna Eden. I love the work that she does.
What's the name of that book? Just for anyone who doesn't
medicine.
see.
Yeah. Sorry,
medicine.
it's Energy Medicine by Donna Eden. It's an amazing book. She talks. She has a certification course. She has workshops. The work that she does is amazing. For me, it has resonated completely with the type of work that I do. She explains that we have 9 energy systems. And of the 9 energy systems, meridians is one and chakras is the other one. So she explains all the systems in the book. And something that is amazing is that people can work with energy medicine, like for example, doing like a daily energy medicine routine. When you work with energy medicine, the type of energy medicine that she explains, you are working with the energies of your body, and you are working with the energy of your energetic body. So at the moment that you work with the energy of the energetic body, you are making happy that body. And for example, Donna explains disease, before the disease arrives to the physical body, it will arrive to the energy body. So if you work with energy medicine, the disease will never touch the physical body. When we have the emotional imbalance, the disease, the pain in the physical body, is because before it has arrived to this body was in the energy body. And I use energy medicine working with our energy body. Like for example, if I'm working with someone and I am guided, let's say that is a hormonal imbalance, and I am guided and I feel my intuition is telling me give an energy medicine exercise, I will suggest and I will explain to my client how they can do like energy medicine with their own body, working with the hormones. Or perhaps I'm working with lower back pain and we lessen the pain, and my intuition tells me give an energy medicine exercise. I will explain how to do an exercise. Or for a headache. So that's how I mix the energy medicine work with my with body code. That's how I do it. I don't do it always, only if I feel for. For example, every day I do my daily energy medicine. I trace my meridians in my physical body, in my energy body. I do like a routine. I work with that. And then Reiki. I have started learning Reiki. So I'm certified in level 1 of Reiki. And if you ask me why Reiki, I don't have an answer with my conscious mind. I cannot give you an answer with my conscious mind. Only I can tell you I have been guided learning Reiki. I'm just level 1, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm not mixing right now body code with Reiki, because I am in the point that I am seeing how Reiki works. And if I mix the modalities, I will not know if it's Reiki or if it's body code or if it's energy medicine. So I have started incorporate Reiki with me, with my pets, and with people I know, and with people I know.
Yeah, one of the things I really want to point out is just like, you know, your wisdom and taking the time to get to know the energy work in and of itself. I have someone that I have been working with, teaching her how to, you know, how to read the Akashic records. And she's a Reiki master. She's a shaman. And, you know, the number one advice to her was like, just do what the book says for now. Leave all of everything else outside of it, because her guides had already told her, like, you've been in the records many times before. And that may be, but the point is like, you really want to start out with one modality and kind of keep it in its narrow frame, you know, for the time being. It's like when you first started working with emotion code, you were just doing the sway test, you know, and just like getting into really feeling that energy and feeling what it like to say yes or no, so that you built up some trust, you know. And then with time, you were able to start doing more. And of course, again, in this world that we live in, we want things overnight. I am so guilty of that too. But by giving each new modality the opportunity to really come to life for you, then you learn how to actually mix it in, and you know what you're working with too, which I think is really interesting. So kind of wanted to start wrapping things up here, since I mean, you know, I have a lot of things on my list that we're not even getting to, but I know you have other things to do today. So one of the last things I wanted to ask you about before we jump into the lightning round is about your videos on YouTube, because you are constantly posting videos, just very helpful energy healings, tutorials, like all kinds of really incredible things on YouTube in English and Spanish. And so I'd love for you to share with us what your goal is with YouTube and what it is that you're doing.
Of course, yes, of course, I will tell you. Well, the goal of the videos, I go live every Wednesday, every Thursday, in English and in Spanish. I go live in YouTube, I go live in my Facebook, in Instagram. And the goal of going live, my goal of going live is to help people. Well, to talk about a topic, because every Wednesday I change the topic. For example, I have a start last Wednesday. I have a start talking about meridians in general. Yesterday I have talked about the split meridian, and I'm explaining people the imbalances of this meridian, and also I'm explaining people how they can trace in their own body, how they can work with that meridian. And my goal is to explain people, to give tips. There are some other energy healers that are interested. It's people that watch my lives and they do emotion code, and they learn. They learn the way I ask, all the type of things that we can do, that we can ask the body. And at the same time, the type of people that is in the that are in the shows is because at the end of the live show, I choose sometimes one or two volunteers, or sometimes I do like an energy group healing session. So before, after the live, I choose volunteers, and with the topic I am working, I use the body code to remove imbalances. So that's my main goal. Always I say I do the live shows to teach, to explain what I have learned. Always is more to learn, of course. What I share is not everything. It's something. It's something that creates curiosity in the people, and to help the people that is connected. And only in English, I go live on Sunday, and I go live also on Tuesdays.
I don't know how you do it all. It's just incredible to me. I'm like, every moment I turn around, I feel like you've got another video up, and I'm just like, you go, girl. Well, before we jump into the lightning round, thank you so much for the work that you do, and like how much that you're giving, because I mean, I think that it's incredible that, you know, someone who does have the knowledge that you have. And I love what you just said about like, it's not everything, but it's something. And that's so beautiful. It's so perfect, because like, we couldn't accept everything if you wanted to give it to us, right?
Yeah.
But by giving us something, that's something, you know, and that's something leads to something else. So thank you so much for all that you do. Okay, so we're going to jump into the lightning round here. Are you ready?
Of course, yeah.
I always need music. Okay, Number one, what is one habit that you can't live without?
My dog.
Your dog?
Yes, of course. Yes.
You're an animal empath too, right?
Completely. Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
I can't
Totally.
remember when we
Yeah.
looked at your human design. I'm thinking that you are though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, what does spirituality mean for you?
Connection with source energy. Connection with God.
And number three, what is your advice to anyone who's looking to find purpose?
Well, number one, I will recommend remove your heart wall and pray. Ask for guidance. Ask what is your life mission.
Yeah, we didn't even dive into heart walls, man. We could have
No,
gone
I
there
know.
forever. All right, folks, you have to go check out Paola. Like, I know you've got some videos on heart walls, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, well, we'll definitely like be linking up her stuff, but yeah, go check those out because heart walls are huge. And last question, what is your favorite place to connect with people online? I'm going to make sure that I put all of your links in the show notes, but what's your favorite place?
My favorite place to connect with people actually is YouTube and Facebook.
So
YouTube and
Facebook, like,
Facebook.
do you have a business Facebook page?
Yeah, it's Paola Healing.
Okay. Is that linked to your, I'm friends with you, so.
Yeah, it's linked. Yeah, it's linked with my page. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Paola. I loved having you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna.
I forgot to tell people she's also a Sagittarius. I've had so many Sagittarians on the show. It's so funny because I spent the majority of my life like never meeting Sagittarians, and like here in the last couple of years I've met so many. Like as soon as I started stepping into like my spiritual work, they're everywhere, and I'm like, okay,
wow.
here's the people. All right, folks, thanks so much for joining today's interview. If this was inspiring to you, please leave a review on iTunes and subscribe. Join the Soul Driven Collective. It's a new spiritually curious community that I launched, or you can sign up for our email list to receive podcast updates, helpful resources, and all of those links are in the show notes. And don't forget, when we invest in ourselves, the world benefits. Until next week.